done. Yesterday was pretty rough. I just had a rough day yesterday for whatever reason. I think it's because I didn't like my outfit yesterday, honestly, and that just started my morning off the wrong way, and things just felt like they just went downhill from there. That sounds really superficial, but it all started with a bad outfit, so. Good morning. Happy Monday. This Monday's on a little bit of a rough start because I got up this morning, got dressed. It's gonna be a warm day in the 90s. And I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have a Starbucks because it's hot and I need an iced coffee. The last thing I want is a piping hot cup of coffee. And for iced coffee that I make at home, I really need to make it the night before, and I neglected to do so. So I'm just gonna go to Starbucks. And so I get all dressed, get everything situated, start heading downstairs and putting in my mobile order, only to be told by the app that they are out of my vanilla sweet cream cold brew. Now, I got so desperate that I actually called the Starbucks and asked them if that was true, because it has been known to occur where they say something is out of stock on the app, but they actually have it in the store. Like, I know that for a fact. So I called and I said, are you guys really out of this? And she said, yes. So I'm driving to school right now without any form of coffee in my hand, and I don't think that I'm addicted to coffee or caffeine. I think it's just like a security blanket in the morning. It's just like a part of my routine. So right now my thought is I'm going to be really nice to my mother when I see her at school and ask her if she would be willing to go to a different Starbucks and pick one up for me. And knowing my mom, she will probably say yes, unless she has something else going on. I contemplated stopping at Panera to get their iced coffee, which is pretty good, but that requires me to get out of the car, go inside, put half and half in it. Like, that's a little bit more of a process. And there's no other option that's on the way to work besides the Starbucks that I always go to, or Panera. So I don't really know what's going to happen as far as that's concerned. Aside from that little adventure or dilemma, my weekend was pretty good. I feel like I kept myself busy all weekend with a lot of random things. I didn't really do any schoolwork, which is fine. Like I said in my last vlog, I need to really just let some stuff go. However, at this point in the year, it does make me a little bit more stressed because I need to kind of maximize my time since I'm going to be going out in a couple weeks. But I didn't do anything extraordinarily interesting. I didn't even exercise this weekend. I ran some errands, did my laundry, stared at my Louis Vuitton boxes that I've yet to open. I will be filming the unboxing after school today. That's my plan. So I probably won't do too much. No, I'm going to film the unboxing after school, which will be a separate video. And my goal is to have that uploaded this Saturday. And then I will also share with you the other things I got for my birthday when I get home, since some of you asked to see that. And that means I probably won't do a whole lot of vlogging in the classroom because I don't want today's clip to be extremely long. So it is Monday. We have some of the kids in my class have a field trip today for making their AR goals every time during the school year. They will be going to Chuck E. Cheese, and they will be gone for pretty much the majority of the day, which is interesting because they are going to miss some teaching, primarily a math lesson. And I can't really afford to not teach because a couple of kids will be missing because they're on the field trip. And the kids that are going are pretty high functioning for the most part. So the hope is they'll be able to come back and catch on to the math lesson that I teach. So math is my priority. I'm going to try and get in a little bit of Wonders. I'm debating on what I want to do for the rest of the year at Wonders because I like to do the full thing with the writing and the full weekly assessment, but I'm about to have a sub come in and I'm just not sure if, I don't know, like for some reason I'm just unsure of what I want to do. I need to pull small groups. So I know I'll do that to finish up this learning block, but I don't know what I will plan for the sub thereafter. I don't think that I'll be planning a writing assignment for her because writing is just something that people are very not uncomfortable, but self-conscious teaching. Not just subs, but just even teachers that have been teaching a while. It's a very hard thing to teach, and I don't want to put that kind of pressure on her. So I need to figure that out. But it is a minimum day, and after school I plan to update my grades because I just realized progress reports need to go home. They're mostly updated, but there's a few random things that have been turned in late that I need to grade and get into my grade book. I would also like to shoot some video for these picture books because I've decided I need to reshoot those because I'm just not happy about it. And that's it. That is what's on my agenda for the day. So wish me luck that I find a way to get some coffee just to kind of get me up and going this Monday morning, and I will be sure to let you guys know what ends up happening by the end of the day today. So we'll talk then. 21? Nope, he's not here. 16. Come on up. Okay, on this one we're using a notepad, so you're gonna grab the notepad, put it in one side. Okay, we estimated that it was going to be about 15 grams. So you're gonna find the pieces, they have numbers on the top. You're gonna put exactly 15 grams in there to see if we were correct. He hasn't put anything in there yet.
10, 20.
Wait. Is that 15?
Yeah, that's 15.
Okay, so step aside so they can see. That's 15 grams. Is our estimate correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Is it too high or too low?
Too low.
I heard two different answers. Is it too high or too low?
Too low.
Why do you think it's too high? Mm-hmm. Why is it too low? Who can raise their hand and tell us how the scale is showing us that the estimate is actually too low? Calling someone. How do you know by looking at this that the estimate was too low and not too high? Yeah, because the notepad is still heavier than the weight, so that's how I know it's too low. So right now you have 15 in there. You go ahead and decide what you want to try next. What pieces are you going to use? He's going to put another 10. That's 25. 35. 45. 55. 65, 75, 85. Now what should we do? Take one out, and instead of using the fives, use the what? So that was, so this would be 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, there's more in the bag over there, 81, ooh.
81.
So I would say it's what, everybody? All right, I'm gonna hop on here really quick. I know I said I wasn't gonna really vlog much in the classroom, but I wanted to share this with you because it was a learning moment for me. It's recess time. We just finished up today's math lesson, which was estimating and measuring mass, making sure they understand the concept of a gram versus a kilogram. So I showed another Brain Pop video that introduces that. And the book has this activity where you take out the pan balance and all these pieces, and I really wasn't gonna do it, honestly, just because at the time I was being lazy. It wasn't because I was pressed for time or anything like that. And then I just said, you know what, you need to be better, Latanya. Like, pull out the pieces, you know the kids will enjoy it, and I'm so glad I did. So we did the little pan balance activity where in the book, if I can find my TE, the kids are asked to estimate the mass of different items like a crayon, a stapler, a notepad, a marker, etc. So you go through it with them, and you let's see if I can turn a page here. And you estimate what you think the mass is going to be. So I had them do that. And then I had them work in groups. I gave them about 30 seconds to put their heads together and come to some kind of a consensus, and then they shared out their estimates. And then after we estimated all of them, we went ahead and measured each, and the kids really enjoyed it. And I think it did a good job of just showing them the difference in weight and how to read a balance, or how to read a pan scale, and to know when something's balanced. So when you don't feel like pulling out the manipulatives, and you know in your heart of hearts it's just because you're being lazy, just suck it up, take them out, because it will be worth it in the end 9 times out of 10. So that took a good chunk of time. We did the share and show section together just so that I can make sure they knew how to decipher when you should measure something based on a gram or based on a kilogram. I felt very comfortable that they got it, and then we just ended the math lesson for the day there. When they get back from recess, we're gonna do a little spring training review in math. So we're doing 1 page of the this book that comes with Go Math. It is called the Getting Ready for the Smarter Balance Assessment. We're gonna do a page of the end of the year assessment in class, and then they're gonna do another page of that for homework tonight, in addition to tonight's homework from the lesson, because tonight's homework from this lesson is super duper easy. So that's what we've done so far. I am getting ready to read this book after recess, Sonia Sotomayor, Turning Pages, My Life Story. I'm going to tie this in with growth mindset and ask if they can identify events in her life that showed that she had a growth mindset, and that is what allowed her to accomplish some of the things that she's accomplished. Coffee update. I still haven't gotten a coffee yet, but my mom is going to bring me one when she comes back to Proctor for lunchtime. Thanks, Mom, if you're watching this. I don't know what I would do without you. So I'm gonna stop talking, read that book really quick, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hello, everyone. Tuesday. I don't even know what time it is. It's 3 o'clock. School's been out for 15 minutes. I am getting ready to update my website and put my homework up for the day. I don't think I've ever showed this to you guys. I feel like maybe I referenced it, but maybe not. So I have a website, let me see if I can show it to you, that is housed through the school's main website. So basically there's a website for the school, and then each teacher has their own web page. And for years we used Teacher Web, and then that went away, and the district designed a different website that I think that we're actually using through Google, if that makes sense. I don't remember the particulars, but I know we stopped using Teacher Web because either something Teacher Web normally did was being discontinued, or the district just decided to go in a different direction and use Google instead. And a friend of mine at my previous school told me about S'more, which is really intended for people that I think are making flyers and advertisement, but she showed me how she uses it to kind of make her website look really nice, and I have been using it since then. You do have to pay an annual fee, and I think that it's like, excuse me, $70 or something, but to me it's totally worth it, because once you make the S'more page, it's made. So anytime we switch over to a new chapter of math on the math tab, all I have to do is cut and paste that page that I made with all these links and resources onto my website, and I don't have to remake it every single year. The other nice thing about it is once you update it on S'more's website, it automatically refreshes on the classroom website. So I will try and show you what I'm talking about, and then at least that way, instead of getting on here to tell you how exhausted I am and how chatty my kids are, you're getting something that's worth your time. So let me take you to S'more first. Let me do that. And I just want to be careful that I'm not showing anyone's information. So let me get my thoughts together. So here we go. This is the S'more website. So it always looks like this. It says, welcome back, Latanya. So one of the first things I will do after school is I will update my homework page. So I go to my newsletters, and as you can see, these are all the S'more pages that I've created. So all the ones that you're looking at right now are just for different math chapters. I need to find the one that is for homework. So I have one for wonders and all of that, and I'll show you those a little bit more closely maybe when I get back to my actual website. So I click on this one. This is my homework page. I edit it, and I just add it each day, and I leave it like this for the whole week in case someone was absent, they want to see what was the homework on Monday, it'll still be there. So I just click on edit, and then I type in the homework. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you on a tripod so that you can see it as I edit. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. This tripod is actually a little handy. So I'm going to put in the homework for today. I've already changed the date. I do that on Monday. I just put in all the dates for the week, and then I just list the homework. So tonight they have math, standards practice. It's hard to type. I'm like maneuvering around this tripod. Pages P191 and P192. They also have what I'm calling spring training homework, which is just really a page from the SBAC review book that we have. I cannot talk today. And that is page SB 92. They have some cursive for growth mindset. I really do type better than this. It's just I'm in a very awkward position so that I can show you this as I do it. And today they're going to actually write it, and I will link that product if you guys are interested to see what exactly that is. And then I want them to read every night. And then I'm gonna add some reminders. So I'm gonna put you to the side so I can type a little bit more efficiently. All right, so I just finished typing everything. So I had their math homework that you saw me type, their growth mindset cursive, wanted them to read for 30 minutes, and then just some reminders that they're having a math test on Thursday. That is misspelled. They have a spelling test on Friday, and that progress reports will be going home on Friday. So once you're done editing, you click done. Then you need to make sure that you click this button here that says publish, because if you don't click that, it won't refresh on your page. So I click publish. Then it looks like that. Then I just, for the purpose of showing you guys, I'm gonna go to my actual website. So I'm gonna have to go through the school because my website link for some reason is not working right now. All right, so here is my website, and over here, these are the tabs that I have. So I have a homework tab, a contact me tab that I rarely use, breaking news, language arts program, wonders, a school calendar, useful educational links, a classroom wish list, suggested school supply list, scholastic book orders, go math. So we're gonna go to homework, and what I just put there is now refreshed here. So it is great because it does the work for you. It just looks nicer using s'more. Do I have to use this? No. But I just think it just gives it a little pizzazz. It makes everything more user-friendly. You can add links. It's just more pleasing to the eye. So that's what I use. It's worth it. I will continue to do this probably in middle school. It may not look exactly the same. So for example, with Wonders, this is something that I leave up all year because it's helpful information. I give them directions on how to log on to Wonders. I tell them what concept we're working on, the essential question, the comprehension skill. I define it for them and give them some at-home suggestions. The vocabulary skill, I define it, give them an example, at-home suggestions. There's a link to Spelling City and all of that good stuff. So there's some information of worth for you guys today. So I just got that done. I have to leave in about 20 minutes. I have a union meeting at 3:30. This is my last union meeting of the school year because I will be out on medical leave by the time the next one comes around. And then after the meeting, I'm meeting Liza and another friend for dinner. So there is that. As far as the day, we did continue with our playbooks. Today, our playbook item was getting plenty of rest. So I found a nice video on YouTube. I added it to my testing videos playlist that just explains the importance of getting rest and what happens to the brain when you don't get enough rest, and gave them some suggestions on what they can do to make sure they get plenty of rest. Then we made a brainstorm list on the board, and then inside their playbook, they chose 3 things that they're gonna try and commit to doing to make sure that they get plenty of rest. And I kind of went off on a tangent about like getting plenty of rest, because I don't know know about you guys, but I have kids that habitually come to school and they just look tired. Like, you can tell that they're not getting adequate amounts of sleep, or they need to hear things like, you should not be on your tablet just before going to bed, because that is not the healthiest thing to do. So we went through that. Today I read this book and I just loved it. I was a little self-conscious about it because I ordered this before I knew I had officially gotten into middle school. And it's one of those books that when I found out I was going to middle school, I thought, I don't know how I'm going to even use this at a middle school level, because I think this book is really intended for lower primary grades, but it is The Word Collector. And right in the middle of reading this, I realized I had an idea of how I could use this in middle school. So it's pretty much about this little boy that just loves words. He collects them. He loves the way they sound. He loves saying them, hearing them. And at some point in the story, it talks about how he realized he can string some of the words that he's collected together to create songs or write poems. And so I literally stopped midway through reading this and had my aide grab me a piece of scratch paper because I was afraid I would forget. And I just wrote a note to myself, which is sticking right in there, that the way I'm going to use this in middle school is if I'm introducing the concept or a lesson on poetry, or I want to give them a poetry assignment, or I want to even like go even further and say, can you write some song lyrics? This would be a good book to introduce that. Or it could even be a project where they become word collectors, and I challenge them to collect words that they've never heard of before, that they really liked for whatever reason. So I'm working on it, guys. I'm excited. It's kind of fun to figure out how to make books like that work for older kids. So we did that. We did a math lesson. It is the math lesson, or the last math lesson of the chapter. They reviewed word problems that involve finding liquid volume or mass. We're going to review for our chapter 10 test tomorrow. We didn't get to wonders. I needed to pull small groups and it didn't happen today, but that's okay. I know I'm behind schedule because I've started to become even more thorough than what I normally am with teaching math, because I'm incorporating just review along the way, all the things that we've learned, being precise about how to explain how you solved a problem, and that just takes more time. So, oh, and we did start a mystery science lesson that I'm not 100% sure how I want it to go tomorrow. They are going to be learning about how a tree could be found in one part of the world and then also found in another part of the world. So they're looking at the koa tree, which is native to Hawaii, but also learning how that koa tree ended up on the other side of the world in this place called Reunion Island. And so they've learned that seeds can be transported by wind, by water carry, by animals. And so tomorrow they're going to be making different types of seeds and testing them out with a little activity. So we got through all the introductory slides, and then we kind of stopped at the point where they needed to make their own seeds, and we'll have to pick that up tomorrow if we have time, because math review can take a while. So that's my day. I know that that's all I'm gonna really be able to vlog about, because I'm getting ready to go to this meeting, and then I'm probably gonna go straight to meeting up with some friends for dinner. So yeah, pretty good day, just chatty. My kid is on the struggle bus with that. We might be spending some recess time practicing the art of being quiet and following directions. It happens. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. That's not it. There's one more part of the day that I really wanted to share because I think it's important to talk about. So my student teacher just returned back to the classroom yesterday. She had actually taken a trip to India and brought back this gift for us yesterday, which looks like this. So it wasn't put together when I opened it, but I showed the kids the pieces because as I was opening it, I realized what it was going to be. And I told them that these are going to be pieces to create a replica of a famous building in India. And so I showed them each of the pieces separately, and I gave them a challenge. I said, you can go home, and based on what you see of the pieces and the color of the pieces and the shapes of the pieces, I want you to go home and see if you can find out what building this is. And if you come back to school tomorrow with the correct answer, I will give your table group 55 table points. 2 kids went home and found it, and they were correct. They guessed that this was the Taj Mahal, which it is, so they got 55 table points. And so I gave her some time after lunch I found a video on the Taj Mahal to share with the class so that so that they would know what the Taj Mahal is and what it represents, and I actually learned quite a bit from it. And then I allowed her to kind of share her experience actually getting to visit the Taj Mahal and share some pictures of her vacation, and it was just great. So you know, she's in the beginning stages of getting ready to teach, and there came a point where there were some religious points that she wanted to make from her visit and some things that she saw there. And so she was asking me if it was okay to explain it. And I said, yeah, because it's not like you're trying to promote a particular religion over another. You're just sharing an aspect of another culture's religion or belief. And I think that's important for teachers to feel the freedom to do and the comfort to do, especially if you're new. Kids are really interested in hearing about different parts of the world and what life is like in those parts of the world, and you're not doing anything wrong by sharing that culture with them and sharing some of the belief systems that they have. Sharing a culture and a belief system with your students is not the same thing as promoting that belief system or religion, or telling them that that belief system or religion is better than any other. It's just exposing them to the idea that there are all kinds of people in the world that have all kinds of different beliefs, and teaching them just an element of tolerance and acceptance. So I loved it. The kids loved it. They loved seeing pictures of her at the Taj Mahal and some of the really beautiful cultural dress that she was able to wear while she was there. So don't be afraid to have those conversations with your class, and you will find that they're the most enjoyable times of class because the kids are just genuinely excited to learn about those kinds of things. So that is my TED Talk for the day. That is all I have to say about that. So now I am really gonna say goodbye, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It's Wednesday. I'm a little disappointed in myself because I was planning on I should be at work by now, basically. I wanted to get to work early because I got home from dinner later and I didn't get to get any work done. So I was like, I'll just go to work earlier tomorrow and kind of mitigate that. I'm still getting there earlier. It's 7:08, but I wanted to be at work by 7. And I've just had a rough morning with my outfit. I'm not loving this outfit, but I'm having to make it work. So I'm getting ready to order a coffee because somehow I feel like that's gonna make it better. So let me put in my mobile order. 1 second, please. There we go. And get myself to work. So if I were to be honest with you guys, you may even be able to hear it in my voice. I'm really starting to get anxious about being out. And I think it's just a combination of multiple things, like obviously anxious about the surgery, and not even so much the surgery, I should take that back, the recovery of the surgery and what my life will be like in the weeks following it, as far as like how immobile will I be, will I have my mom be able to stay there long enough to help me kind of get through the first few days, which I think will be the most difficult. How will I be eating dinner? I can't really cook, but I don't want to be eating out all the time. I don't know, I think just the fact that my life will be out of the routine that I'm so used to is what's giving me anxiety. And then the sub, administering the test, and will the kids be okay and comfortable, and taking my room down and packing it up and getting a new room set up in the midst of still kind of going through the recovery process. It's all starting to get to me, if I were to be honest. So I'm trying to take it one step at a time, which is one of the reasons why I'm going in early, because I just have little things that I need to try and take care of, that I need to get done for this week, like with progress reports, and like just continue to work on to make sure when I leave next Friday, I leave feeling like relatively comfortable with what I've left for the long-term sub. So my anxiety level is a little high, and I'm just trying to calm myself down from that, and it's been a challenge. So yeah, today I don't know how much checking in I'll do because I need to make sure all my grades are updated. Progress reports are going home on Friday. My grade book is pretty much up to date. I just have like these random assignments that students turned in late that I need to make sure I get graded so they can be put into the grade book. I really want to get my plans all set up in Plan Book. Then I realized this morning I probably need to write like a little set of instructions for the sub with just little things here and there. We have a staff meeting after school, so I won't have time after school. I need to cook today. There's some YouTube videos that I want to make, plus I need to edit some video. Yeah, so I just have a lot of things that I need to do. So I'm checking in with you now because I'm not really sure what's going to happen throughout the day. Like, I have a prep period today, but if I'm a good teacher and employee, I will just be focused and getting things done, which is what I intend to do. So I don't know, guys, just if you're a praying person, pray for me, for my anxiety levels, that everything works out. I think I'm just out of my comfort zone in the sense that this recovery process, I won't be in control of it. I won't be able to do all the things that I normally do in the way I normally do it. And I just have to accept things are going to change a little bit, but it's temporary is what I need to remember. And I also need to remember I've had several people that I work with or friends that have offered to help me do things, like help me to take down my class, help me to set up my new class, stop by with lunch or whatever. And it's sweet of them, but I have to really take the time this time around to take people up on their offer and accept the help that people are offering and stop trying to pretend like I can do everything on my own, which is what I tend to do. And me trying to continue to do that is just contributing to my overall stress level. So I need to put it into that. So this might be a good life lesson for me. Like, you can't always be in control. You can't always be the one doing all the things for yourself. Sometimes you're going to have to let some other people do some things for you. And it doesn't mean that you're being lazy. It just means you're honoring the fact that they would like to help you. And that is what I need to remember. So I'm getting ready to pick up this coffee. I'm going to go to my room, calm myself down, and start doing the things that I need to do. So I will talk to you guys soon. Hey guys. It's Thursday. I don't remember what I was doing the last time I spoke to you. I know it was yesterday. I believe I spoke to you on the way to school, and I was really stressed and flustered, and I don't think I checked in during the day. I'm pretty sure I didn't. But the good news is all the things that were kind of let me back up. That's a lie. A couple of the things that were stressing me out yesterday about getting some things done, I got done. Because I had to. I got my progress reports done. So those are all bundled up, ready to go. We send those home tomorrow. And I made some phone calls I needed to make in terms of making sure I have things in place for my disability insurance. And there was a couple of things that I really needed to get done yesterday, and I got those done because I just had to like focus and just make it happen. Today is my first time checking in right now because, you know, I have to be focused and productive as I run out of time here in my classroom. Today, as far as my teaching is concerned, literally only got to finish reviewing for the chapter 10 math test. We started that yesterday using the Kagan structure that I've always referenced called Find Someone Who. And I don't go into too much detail about it because I'm not sure what the legalities are of that. I don't want to be sharing something on my channel and then someone from Kagan thinks I'm copywriting it and stuff like that. So, but it is a good structure if you are familiar with Kagan and you look it up or you have access to the materials. I would suggest it. Maybe I'll try and link their website on the description box, but everything that I've done Kagan wise, I've had some form of training from a Kagan instructor that has been paid for by the district. So we did that yesterday and then we finished that up today, and then they took the test, and it took them a really long time to take that test. So I was supposed to do that, finish up the science lesson that we started earlier this week. That still didn't happen today because the test just took a while. I did share this book with him. This book is called Freedom on the Menu, because the fun fact for today was in 1964 the Civil Rights Act was signed. So this talks about the sit-ins at the lunch counter. We read that today. They were somewhat already familiar with it because I had read another book during Black History Month called Sit-In, and so they were just excited to actually already know a little bit about what was going on in civil rights, in the fight for civil rights during that time. And then they took their math test and that took forever. So I'm jumping on because something very sad has happened as of today. I have an aide that comes in to help me for a total of 3 hours a week because I'm officially at 27 students, and that's something we negotiated in our contract a couple years ago. She just started coming because I just hit that 27th student not too long ago, and in my district we have to hold that 27 student number for I think 3 weeks or something, and that's in the primary grades. If I were teaching 4th or 5th, I feel like the number is like past 32. So she just started not too long ago, but today she came in and I had her make copies and get some things done for my long-term sub that's going to be starting pretty soon. And then she finished that because she's so efficient, and I had her for 3 hours and she was like, what else do you need me to do? I didn't have any grading because I have to be pretty current on my grades as of right now. And so I said, well, why don't you start taking some things off the wall so I can just kind of progressively get that done. I have definitely been packing over the past couple weeks. These drawers that I normally had things in have been packed. So these are just all my personal belongings. So I've had those packed, gotten this drawer packed, as well as this one. I think this one still has stuff in it because I still need it a little bit. And these, I think, are all things that have to be checked into the library. So those have not been packed. So I said, why don't we just start taking down some of the stuff off the walls? And I literally meant just like student work. But then I looked up and she was actually taking down border, which I almost stopped her. But then I said, I'm gonna have to just have her do that because when I go on disability, I can't come in the classroom. Like, that's against the laws and the rules of disability, and I understand why. But at the same time, I have to make sure I get this classroom taken down because there's a new teacher that's gonna be coming in. And not only for that reason, but I need to get this classroom down so that I can then focus on getting my next classroom up. I don't know my room number or anything. I still don't know my grade level or the subject matter. And believe you me, I am patiently waiting to find that out. But I just have to tell myself it is what it is. Like, do I want to sit in the classroom without things on the wall? Not necessarily. Do I even want my kids to have to do that? No. But the reality is this might be the only time I get that kind of assistance. And I don't really know how I'm going to be feeling after the surgery. So I don't know. I'm hoping for a smooth recovery, but I have no guarantees of that. So this is what's going on in my room right now, and this is what it looks like. It is so depressing. So she took the border down from that section, took the work that was there. I had her pack up these bookcases, so that's done. And so I just felt bad because the kids do not like it. And so I took a moment and said, guys, like, I really didn't want to do this, but I can't come in and do it while I'm recovering, and I need to get this done, so I'm sorry, but we're gonna start taking things down. But reminded them, school is still in session, so don't think school's over. But they don't like it, and rightfully so, because I don't like it. So the only thing that I can think of that will make it better is for spring training. I usually decorate the room with like baseball decorations, so maybe I'll just have to go a little extra with that so it doesn't feel so barren. Also, the benefit to that is with state testing, you have to make sure there's nothing on the wall that could be of assistance to a student. So there will be nothing on the wall that will be of assistance to the student. So I still need to take that stuff down. I think tomorrow I'll start taking down my personal items. And that's it. So it's winding down. But, oh, there is one thing I wanted to share with you. So I think I shared with you the book that I read on Monday, The Word Collector, and how I am excited to use that in middle school. I also finally got to read this book a couple days ago, and my kids were so excited when they saw this out, and they had been begging me to read it, and I knew I would, but they really just wanted to read it because they liked the other book so much. I read The Good Egg. They recognized the cover because it's very similar to The Bad Seed, which is one of my favorites. So I read this to them and taught them the idiom, what it means when someone's called a good egg. And so I read them the story, and then we talked about it afterwards. And it's so funny. If you haven't read the story, the good egg is a good egg. And for the most part, the good egg is so good that he wants everybody else to be just as good as he is. And he really gets stressed out about it. And he got so stressed that he started to crack under the pressure. And then the good egg goes away, takes some me time to himself, realizes he just needs to let that go, let people be who they're gonna be, stop worrying so much, stop trying to be so good and perfect all the time. And he ends up going back to the other eggs that are in the carton that are not so good. So we talked about it, and I asked the kids what the message is, and I just thought it was interesting that they only focused on the bad eggs, and they actually feel like the bad eggs got better, or they were more well behaved by the end of the story, which they really weren't. And so I was talking to them about, no, the bad eggs really didn't do all that much changing. It was the good egg that changed. The good egg realized that he really only needs to be worried about himself. He can't really control the actions of others, and he can't force them to be as good as he is. But I also took the opportunity to talk about just perfectionism and how you can be working so hard to be so good and so perfect that you can start to, a ring just flew off my finger, that you can just start to crack under the pressure, or under the pressure that you're putting yourself under. So we talked about that for a while, because I do have a couple kids in this class that are really good eggs, and sometimes it really gets the best of them. So I highly recommend that one. I really liked it, just as good as the bad seed. So that was my day. Tomorrow's Friday, thank goodness. And so, yeah, I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stop vlogging. I'm gonna film another video of monthly favorites for my picture books, and then I'm gonna go home and just continue to work on my sub plans for my long-term sub from the comfort of my own home. So, the day wasn't bad, just didn't get as much as I wanted to get done. Yesterday was pretty rough. I just had a rough day yesterday for whatever reason. I think it's because I didn't like my outfit yesterday, honestly, and that just started my morning off the wrong way, and things just felt like they just went downhill from there. That sounds really superficial, but it all started with the bad outfit. So anyway, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Oh, I just, I forgot the back of my room looks like that, and I just got startled just by seeing it in the viewfinder. But happy Friday, despite the sadness back there. It is a little bit after 4 o'clock, and I'm getting ready to leave. I was waiting after school. Well, first after school, I filmed a picture books video. And I think what I'm going to do is, with the vlogs also, anytime I reference a book, I'll be sure to link that in the description box also, in case you guys are interested. Today, I read What Do You Do with a Problem, and tied this into spring training or getting ready for SBAC testing, aka state testing. And I really like that book because it's just good for that. Also, you know, just talking to them about literally a problem, like if you're taking a test and you have a problem and you cannot figure it out, it's not good to avoid it, but better yet, look at it as an opportunity to challenge yourself or see if you can figure it out. But then also just in life in general, like you're gonna be faced with problems, and if you run away from them or avoid them, nothing's gonna get better, and in some ways it gets worse. So I read that one with them today, and I think yesterday I referenced The Good Egg, so I'll link that one also in the description box if you're interested. So I filmed a video for my picture books that I plan on uploading during the next school year as the months come up. And then I was waiting for a parent because they wanted to meet with me. This is actually a parent that I had last year, and we have a relatively good rapport. And so there's some things that she wanted me to kind of help walk her through as she supports her child this school year. But she was on a field trip. The field trip got back late, so that didn't happen. So what I'm going to do is clean up my things and go home. I'm still gonna be working from home because I need to continue planning for my long-term sub. I have a good chunk of the planning that I need to get done. I just wanna finish planning science. You know what, now that I think about it, I don't need to do that much planning in science because she's gonna have to do social studies. But I still need to kind of like really start getting things together for her, because next week, you guys, is my last week. Let me put this down so that you guys are not all up in my face. Okay, there you go. I don't know if I need to plan science for her. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I'm gonna do science. She's gonna do social studies. So I might have just realized I don't have as much work to do as I thought I did. And that's an amazing feeling. So I need to do that, but I also need to kind of get things in order for her in terms of like giving her a password she's gonna need, just classroom management stuff she might wanna keep in mind. She will be coming in next Thursday and Friday, my last 2 days of this school year, to shadow me and pick up some of that stuff along the way. I also need to go home and make a thumbnail, because by the time you're seeing this, hopefully you've seen my unboxing video of my Louis Vuitton, because it's all edited. I just need to make a thumbnail and do that. And I just want to go home because it's Friday. And I'm gonna have French fries for dinner, and I'm really excited about that. So today we reviewed some math, like spring training math, meaning just skills that we've learned over the year. They had PE. We did some growth mindset stuff. I showed today in their playbook, which looks like this. Today we added perseverance, and I showed them a little video short called Ormy the Pig, and this pig is trying to get these cookies that are on top of this refrigerator, and the video is about 4 minutes or so, and it's just really funny. It's just really funny, all the things he goes through to try and get the cookies down. And so I just tell them, I'm going to show you a video. I want you to think about what is happening in this video, and then we're going to talk about our next playbook item. And of course, they all say he shows a growth mindset, he shows a growth mindset. I said, we know that he shows a growth mindset because everything that I'm sharing with you is somehow reflecting having a growth mindset. But what exactly was he doing? And so we talked about it. They didn't get to the word, which I wasn't expecting because they're third graders. And so eventually I said, did he ever really stop trying? After everything he was trying failed, did he just give up? Or did he just keep going even though it seemed impossible? They said he kept going. So then I introduced the word persevere. So we brainstormed a list of things that they could do to help them persevere if they are faced with a challenge in the process of taking this test. Then they wrote a little statement as to why it's important to persevere, and that was pretty much it. I almost forgot to pass out progress reports, so those went home today. That always happens because it's so out of my routine at the end of the day and of a Friday that every single time I'm supposed to send progress reports home, I come this close to forgetting to do it. So we did the growth mindset thing. I passed out the progress reports, and then they were on their way. We also finished the mystery science activity. I took a little clip of that. I will try and include it if it's worth looking at, where they learned about different kinds of seeds and how seeds may travel from one part of the world to the other. That was the conclusion of a mystery science activity, and that is pretty much it. My room, I just can't stand the sight of it right now. It is coming down. It is reminding me of just the despair I felt when I walked into this room and it was empty and bare, but it has to happen. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you the sad state of this side of the room. So here is the room right now. Very sad, very depressing. Just about everything was taken off of that wall. All of it's gone from there. Those signs, like that read sign, I think is like really adhered to the wall, as well as that over there. I am gonna keep up that wall and this wall here because it has their goals for state testing. But next week I'm gonna take down like all my personal effects here, start taking my picture books home, except for the ones that I haven't made the video for, and that's it. So yeah, it's sad. I feel bad for the kids, but it's alleviating the stress that I was having of how am I going to get my room taken down and get a new room up all at the same time over the summer, in the midst of trying to like recoup and, is it recoup? Heal? I don't know. So it does help. So I'm so thankful to have my student teacher, the aid support. It came at just the right time. It was as if God knew I was gonna need help at this time of the year, and somehow it all is working out and helping me. So that is how my day went. I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog here because I don't have much else to say. If you liked this vlog, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you do. And we have one more vlog left after this one, and that is gonna be my last class or school vlog for the school year, because after that I am out of the classroom and the shift will now focus on just my experience with having the surgery and healing, and then that will transition into summertime things and getting a new room set up and just mentally preparing myself for middle school. I will say now, while I'm thinking about it, I'm not exactly sure how all that's gonna play out, because I will be on disability. I don't even know if I'm allowed to be on campus while I'm on disability. So I'm hoping to be able to share like my classroom setup journey over the summer, but I don't know if that's possible just given my disability situation and when I'll be out and how long I'll be out for. So I'm just letting you know now. But I will check in for sure over the summer, for sure. I think. No, I will. I just don't know when and how frequently. So that's it. I will talk to you guys on Monday. So I'll see you then. Have a good weekend. Bye.